What's going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back. We are gonna be doing some Apocalypse Saga gameplay here. We're gonna run the I think it's the heroic mode, which is the one that requires all tier 15. But once you do the hard difficulty, that one gets unlocked. And then of course you need every character at tier 15 here. So as you can see here, our rogue is pretty beefed out already. We're just gonna go look at the other 4 characters because those are the ones that I think people are gonna probably be needing work on. Here's my Phantom X. He's 159. I did really well in his event, and as you can see here, he's 6 yellow, 5 red. Pretty much pushes him as far as I can in terms of levels. Just T4'd his ult and his special. Gambit. This is one you probably want to T4 everything, just because he's going to be hitting lots because of his passive, and of course as well with Crucible being a key part to this team's success. Daz. I haven't really put too much on, just because she's kind of low on the stars as well, but probably more luxury. If you want to T4, you can T4 her ult and her passive, but I wouldn't really waste too much resources on her. She's good on the team, but otherwise by herself she's kind of crappy. And then of course Sunfire, I've only T4'd his ultimate just for his passive, and then that's pretty much, you probably be okay with getting the other ones if you can, but if you can't, that's alright. And like I said, my rogue's already 7 yellow, 5 red thanks to the event, so she's pretty much max as far as she can go. So that's the team. I think they're just about 700k ish, which isn't too bad. So let's jump into the gameplay part. So as you guys see here, we have the 3 sagas open now, or sorry, excuse me, the 2 sagas, and Famine just opened up. I finished off the first one. Pretty straightforward. You should be able to just auto most of it with the if you have a really beefed out rogue, and it doesn't really matter because I think for the most part all those characters are under 100k, so most of your team should be able to just plow right through them. For heroic, requires a little bit more difficulty, and of course these guys are quite a bit stronger, so I did play through it to test and see how it was initially, and it wasn't too bad. Now keep in mind, I have no idea if there's a super correct setup for the configuration, but you know, I put Rogue to the far left because then at least she can kind of mitigate damage, because she's going to be taunting more than most, and then same with Phantom X. And then Gambit is beside Rogue because once he stealths, he can kind of disrupt that chain. And that's kind of the approach I went with most of these. With most of my attack attempts, like just keeping the damage away from the squishies, which is obviously our Sunfire and Dazzler. Yeah, keep them away. And specifically for Sunfire, I put him right in the middle because he is kind of my lowest one, so it's kind of the way it goes here. I found that disabling Hulkbuster was the best move. You could do Kestrel, but I find that she is squishy enough that you'd be okay just leaving her alone. So we do that with Hulkbuster, because that way he doesn't bring barrier to the other Bionic Avengers. Otherwise it's just a big pain in the butt. And then thanks to Rogue's amazing special, she'll get the taunt there to kind of help protect most of your teammates. When it gets to Daz's turn, you can do one of a couple things here. You can just single target, or you can try to remove some negatives. I do the latter, which is removing the negatives. And then I just kind of focus my attacks on kind of this cluster here where Hulkbuster is. I find that cluster works better because there's Kestrel there, there's Hulkbuster, there's T'Challa. I find that there's some pretty dangerous characters there in the bulk of there, so I feel like it's a good way to go. We'll use the ult there, so that way he can use his energy and he can double ult again. Phantom X, yeah, he's okay if you want to throw in the taunt there. I throw in the taunt just for a little bit of extra cushion. And then of course this is where it's big, and this is where it's nice having that 7 yellow red, 5 red rogue. Her ultimate will just smash these guys apart, taking care of Kestrel. And then of course Gambit does his thing. He's actually doing a ton of damage every time these guys take a turn, so that's awesome. That's kind of why the reason you want to T4 him and get him as bumped up as high as you can. Most of my guys are 90, so I mean that really helps. Push them as high as you can for these. Keep in mind, you don't technically need to 3-star these. I mean, you just need to get through it. 3-starring is only if you want to go for the last difficulty, and that's pretty much near impossible unless you're a super whale, because you need tier 17 characters. And by the time you get tier 17 characters and you unlock that last one, you should be able to plow through these ones and 3-star them again. So it should be fairly easy. I wasn't even able to do all the ones in the Morgan Le Fay one, but I think you guys get the gist of it there. So that was the first one. We'll run in here again with the same lineup. Like I said already, because my rogue is so big and she's so freaking strong, she just carries the entire team, and they have to get through her crazy amount of taunts and and positives and all that other stuff before they can even get touch my other guys. So this one I found disabling Sam was the way to go, just that way, because he doesn't he gets a little bit of a delay in using his special, because once these guys get a ton of their turns in, it does become a little bit more problematic. Not impossible, but does become a little problematic. You can keep resetting here until you actually get that ability block on him as well. I didn't care enough. I went with it, and you know what? I found that despite not being able to ability block Sam, we still got through it. We still got through this one pretty quickly and smoothly. Wasn't too shabby. So again, we'll do the flipping, because that one gives us some nice heals as well. Trying to keep our rogue alive. And watch this. We'll use that all crazy stun of hers, and yeah, it just blows up the entire board. I think crushing pretty much the entire guys on the board here, and then taking down a couple with us as well. So again, using that special, or excuse me, the ult from Sunfire to do some damage. And then that way, when you use a special again, he can basically replenish his ult, and that's kind of the way to go with that. Super, I found this one super easier compared to the last Saga, the one with Morgan, the Pestilence. Just because there was a bit more synergy with this team, I find. There was a lot more umph, I would say. Darkhold was good, but there wasn't too much sustain. Whereas this one, we've got a crazy amount of speed with this team. There's some debuff removal, cleanse, and then of course as well having a double taunt does not hurt at all. So that is actually really nice for us. Morgan Le Fay was pretty much just carrying the last one. This one, Rogue does carry, but the other 4 pieces do work well together. And of course as well, as you guys saw earlier, my Daz and my Sunfire aren't super yellowed up. Like they're pretty bad. And Gambit's I think he's only a 4 or 3 as well. So excuse me, a 4. So not the craziest, strongest character. So we do speed this up a bit because it just got a little repetitive. When the next wave drops, just focus on Shang-Chi. Leaving him alone is always an issue. And if he manages to use his ult, it can be problematic. Probably even took out my Phantom X if we did leave him alone there. So he was a little bit low on health there. But once we use that crazy super ultimate of rogues, then we pretty much get it done here. And like I said, we get the evasion, we get debuffs, we get heals. Yeah, it's just a fairly straightforward, I think, approach. I think the last couple of nodes are the hardest ones, but as you guys see here, the earlier ones are pretty easy, especially like I said with a massive rogue carrying us and quarterbacking this for us. All right, so the second last one. Again, it's nice that we have really solid synergy with this team, but it's also nice we get the extra little gold orbs as well. I find that helps right now because we're trying to level up all these crazy characters they keep pumping out at us, and I have nothing. I have no gold to do stuff with. So anyways, this one is a little wonky because we do have an Eternal here, so just keep in mind we do disable Icarus because I think it's pretty stupid if you don't disable him. I feel like it's kind of like kind of a dumb, really a no-brainer, I guess. Taking care of him obviously is a priority. It sucks. Yeah, we're very fortunate that Xerxes not on this because yeah, she would just destroy us. So as you guys see here, we do have our crazy stun. We're gonna actually save because we're close to knocking some of these guys out. So we're gonna save his ultimate, and then we're gonna use Daz's blind there, which is really dumb of me actually. I thought it was an ability block when I did it, so don't do what I did there. It's kind of dumb. I don't know why I did that. So he's gonna use a special. I don't know why I was thinking it was an ability block, but it doesn't matter. So we use her ult, so that's just gonna blow everything up again. And these guys would probably all be dead if they didn't have that defense up. But unfortunately, we just misplayed that. So don't do that, guys. Don't misplay that. I think it's still fairly straightforward. Otherwise, like I said, it's just getting rid of Icarus first. And then of course Lady Thor does her thing, yada yada yada. And look at this, just crazy amounts of damage from Gambit. So that I can't emphasize this enough. Just make sure you guys have a decent sized Gambit. We do save Dazzler's cleanse because of Taskmaster. So keep that cleanse ready to go in case he throws the blind and he just blows everything up here. It can obviously be an issue, but if you can get rid of him before he does the blind, that works too. Just trying to decide here if I want to taunt. We actually do decide to do it because then it actually gives everybody defense up as well. That's kind of like a double bonus for us. And then of course Sunfire is going to do his thing. He's going to do an ult again, getting that defense down, which is going to give us a good amount of extra here. And then as you guys see here, Taskmaster, just take him out. Take him out as soon as you can. That's the best way to go at this one. If he lands his stun and his blind, it's just super annoying. So just get rid of him. Gambit does his thing, and then of course I think you guys get the rest of this. I think we sped this up because right after you take care of Taskmaster, Icarus, pretty much those are the problematic guys for this one, and then you can pretty much auto at this point. And like I said, it's fairly straightforward. I think the only node I really struggled with was the last one, and it just probably took me 3 tries because I just had to get the right starting RNG. You're up against Red Hulk, and you want to just, depending on the speed and the luck, sometimes he'll go and hit first, or sometimes you'll beat him. And it's just, yeah, just depends on where he lands that special of his, and he can slow down Rogue, or he can slow down some of the other characters, and it kind of just messes up the timing a bit. But for the most part, still much better than the Pestilence Saga. So I found that this one was definitely easier. This one, focus on Doctor Strange, Heartless. He's the one to go for. We'll disable Wong first, of course, so that way he can't taunt us. But if he gets off that nasty ult of his, it's just game over for us. So he's pretty beefy, pretty strong guy. So focus on the Stranges if you can. Like I said, we're gonna, for the most part, I feel like it's fairly straightforward. Boom. Take care of him, and then of course you can blind. This time we actually are going to use the blind correctly here and not assume it's an ability block. I have no idea what I was thinking last one, but get the blind off of Cloak, so that way he can't use his crazy ult. And then focus on Deathpool. I don't like Deathpool. She's really annoying. And then of course she has the ability to one-shot as well if she gets those charges up. So yeah, just like I said, just nasty. But that's the second last one. I didn't find it that bad, to be honest. So that's the second last node, and like I said already, I found that the last node with Red Hulk was the hardest. So that's the one. That's the one we'll do next here, and that's pretty much the last one. Like I said, it'll give your ability materials as well for the for making your rogue unlocked and awakened. So that way she will be at her maximum, and then of course as well. She can pretty much, be at her peak, if so to speak. So restarting this one might come in handy a few times, depending on who he targets. And I did actually, notice that he does seem to like targeting Rogue, which I mean doesn't really hurt us because it actually means they'll actually get some hits in before she activates her taunt, which actually helps us a little bit because then we can actually protect the team a little bit more after some hits. Unfortunately, depending on that as well, you might not be able to use her special on somebody usable. I was able to use it on, I think, on Red Hulk before, but yeah, it just depends on the speed. If she's faster than him, then actually she gets off before the Strife's taunt. But that only happened like once in a couple tries, so I'm not sure on the accuracy of that. But either way, save that ultimate. It's kind of a waste if you use it on Strife, but yeah, save it and then just kind of focus on getting rid of him first, and then of course then we can start targeting the other guys. I focused the Gambit special on the left there just because there's a better cluster there, and then of course keep in mind the number of times you hit Hulk as well, or Red Hulk, excuse me. That's going to charge him up. So you want to actually save your stun for him. So stun him down. And because our rogue is huge, that should hopefully do a little bit of a dent to his massive health. if he's stunned, at least it helps a bit. But either way, I mean, you're still, it's a tough one if your rogue's not big and beefy like mine. We'll do the special there to get some buffs on our side, and we'll kind of continue attacking here on him because we don't have a choice. I think he was taunted, but yeah, just focus your attacks on him. He's gonna most likely end his ult, which is, you know, it is what it is. But we have a bit of evasion on the board as well, so we should be able to dodge a bit of it. And as you guys see here, nothing we can really do about the taunts. Just have to get rid of She-Hulk. Oh, great! So we get his ultimate again, so you can dish that ult. That's the nice thing about using it early on, and then you can use a special to kind of give him a double ult. It's really comes in really handy. That's kind of why we do it. Yeah. So Hulk goes, or Red Hulk, excuse me. I keep saying Hulk. But yeah, it's you want to get rid of him before he can build that momentum. Otherwise, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to get rid of him. And then of course Gambit gets his ultimate. Sweet. So this is gonna help us out. Boom. And that should hopefully. See, he's getting pretty close to ult here, so I think if he gets one more turn, so there he goes down. But then of course the double Ghost Riders, just got to be careful as well. My Gambit did actually get nuked the one time, and just from his attacking passive, he actually killed himself. So just be careful, get rid of them first. That's the only way I think to get around it. Focus on the Ghost Riders. Emma Frost is annoying as well, but you got to focus on Ghost Rider, because if you start taking out other characters, it's just gonna be problematic. So take care of the Ghost Riders afterwards, and then you'll pretty much be home free. I mean, it sucks they cloned Grog, but even the clones, they're not as strong as the original, and it is what it is. I mean, she's a freakishly annoying clone, but not impossible to deal with. Her damage and her health and everything is quite subpar to the original, so it is what it is. She just looks scary because she has all these buffs on her, but just remember, she is a clone, and she has I don't remember the exact statistics, but it's only a fraction of what the original stats are. So yeah, don't worry too much on that. But I mean, that doesn't deny the fact that she's still going to be fast. She's got her crazy stun. She's got that special as well. So yeah, just, you know, keep being mindful of that. Yeah, stay the course. Keep focusing on Ghost Rider. And really, I mean, I'll say this again, I already preached it on earlier. You don't need to 3-star this one unless you have tier 17 characters already, and I don't think anybody has that ready to go. But by the time you get your tier 17 characters, you can just redo this one again and 3-star it, so that way you can get the other mode unlocked. My Morgan Le Fay one, that one's not even 3-starred yet, so we just got lucky with this one. There's no point in doing a million resets and really wasting a ton of your time on this, because it's just not needed. You don't need to waste your time. There's better things to spend your time on. So but if you have time and you're bored and you want to keep trying at this, I mean, you know, hey, to each their own. But that's my approach. I think I only got a 1-star on the Morgan Le Fay one, and yeah, I'll just wait till my Dark holds tier 17 before I 3-star the last node. It's really not really. I think it's more bragging rights right now. If you can do it, great. If you can't, not the end of the world, because you're going to be able to do it anyways when you get your characters up higher. And by then, I mean, who knows what the level cap is? It'll probably be 95 or 100. Who knows, right? By then, so we'll see how that goes. But there you guys have it. That is our 3-starring of the last node, which is actually pretty cool. I was not expecting that. I would have been fine with just a 1 or 2-star, but we did get it done in one shot, and our team is actually pretty solid. Like I said, it only took about 3 tries. The first try, I just exited out because Gambit died, and then the second one, it was just a weird RNG with Red Hulk focusing Rogue at the start, and just kind of wonky toodle. But you guys get it there. There's the upgrade materials that you'll get to kind of upgrade her first ability and her passive, and that'll basically give her the her highest amount of points that she can get, you know, obviously assuming you have her whatever stars are mounted in reds and all that good stuff. Anyways, that's all we got for this time, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.